Pipeline project that Premier Smith is a great enthusiast of, a heavy oil pipeline project. There is no project, there is no proponent, there is no private sector money involved at all that I'm aware of. When Premier Smith crosses those obvious hurdles to get a project done, then let's have those conversations. But to be blunt, we have major projects that are moving ahead, and that's where our focus is.
Gang, what's up? Aaron right here, Canadian Looney. We have David Eby. He's the Premier of British Columbia, who thinks that British Columbia is going to be the main piston in the new Canadian economic engine. We'll see how that goes. He shoots down Danielle Smith here. He shoots down Donald Trump, the U.S. ambassador, U.S. tariffs. And David Eby, guys, what do you think? Let me know in the comments. I don't know. I'm from Nova Scotia. Not a big fan of our premier here either, but man, David Eby, sinking pretty low.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, everyone. Great to see you. It has been a productive set of meetings already for British Columbia. We had the opportunity to sign some agreements with Yukon, with Manitoba and Ontario about getting rid of internal trade barriers, making life a little bit more affordable for Canadians, getting Ontarians access to that high-quality British Columbia wine. Lots of great things to celebrate. Working with the Yukon to electrify that territory and help them grow their economy. Lots of great projects on the go. Had the opportunity with the Prime Minister to discuss projects of significance and importance to British Columbia, like the northwest of our province, the mining opportunities that are there. I'm very excited about the Northwest Transmission Line that will electrify that and the work that we can do together. Looking forward to that. While I was having a sidebar conversation with the Prime Minister, I took the opportunity to deliver a letter from Bailey McCourt's family. Bailey McCourt was murdered by her ex-husband in Kelowna. A horrific attack. The Prime Minister has committed on multiple occasions, which I'm grateful for, to bail reform, and Bailey McCourt's family really underlining the importance of bail reform around intimate partner violence. In my opinion, and I know an opinion shared by many Canadians, there's a special place in hell for men that murder and attack their spouses or girlfriends, and ensuring that they stay behind bars and are not released to complete a cycle of violence is a priority for us, and I'm grateful to know that priority is shared by the Prime Minister. Finally, I'd like to take a moment to reflect on the comments of the American ambassador recently appointed about his support for the President's comments that Canadians are mean and nasty because we are boycotting American liquor and refusing to travel to the U.S. while they attack our sovereignty and threaten our economy through the President. Obviously, if you're a mean and nasty Canadian for standing up for our sovereignty and our economy and our jobs, well, I think most Canadians would be proud to be considered mean and nasty. But to be blunt, Americans are our friends, our colleagues, and family members in many cases. And the remarks the ambassador delivered were delivered at a conference, the Pacific Northwest Economic Region Conference. We've worked in close partnership with those states for many, many years on flood mitigation, economic growth, the Cascadia Corridor. It's grown our economies. We've all benefited from it. It's an example of why we have no interest in being mean and nasty. We want to be in partnership with the Americans, and we need the President to understand the benefits that flow from working in cooperation. So with that, happy to take your questions and look forward to our conversation here.
Hello, Premier Eby. Michael Serapi with CPAC. Earlier today, we saw your colleagues from Saskatchewan, Alberta, and Ontario announce a memorandum of understanding to work towards energy corridors, pipelines. And in that news conference, both the premiers of Saskatchewan and Alberta talked about the northern BC coast, saying it presents the best opportunity to get oil to global markets. And they also called for, once again, the dropping of a number of regulations that includes the tanker ban off the BC coast. I'm wondering, given that this is the third time that the premiers, the first ministers have come together, whether you are now more open to dropping that ban, giving the support towards that, and exploring the possibility of a pipeline to the BC coast up north.
Well, I mean, let's look at what's happening in BC's north around energy. We have the first shipment of LNG from BC's coast. It will make a material difference in Canada's GDP, the largest private sector investment in Canadian history. The proponents are looking at a second phase right now. In terms of traditional energy projects, we also have Cedar LNG and Silism's LNG that are reaching final investment decision or are in construction. So there are major energy projects that are happening that will also benefit Alberta in BC's north. For the pipeline project that Premier Smith is a great enthusiast of, a heavy oil pipeline project, there is no project, there is no proponent, there is no private sector money involved at all that I'm aware of. When Premier Smith crosses those obvious hurdles to get a project done, then let's have those conversations. But to be blunt, we have major projects that are moving ahead, and that's where our focus is.
But would it be easier to find an investor if the BC government were open to actually letting that pipeline go to the BC northern coast?
Well, we own a heavy oil pipeline right now as Canadians that goes to the BC coast. It's the Trans Mountain Pipeline Project. It's up for sale. The federal government can't sell it. The major pipeline proponents that one would expect to be participating in the north are not. And so I think there's a reason for that. I think there's other interest around investment in British Columbia and Alberta. We're supportive. If Premier Smith can cross that hurdle of identifying a proponent and an actual project, then let's have that conversation. But in the meantime, we're encouraging the federal government, and for ourselves, the focus is on projects with proponents that are ready to go, that are through environmental assessment. And if we do that, we can deliver some really big projects for Canada. BC will be the economic engine, frankly, of the new economy that we're building here in Canada because of our port access to markets, the resources we have, and we're going to facilitate access for other provinces too to get to those markets just as we always have.
Hey, Mickey with Politico here. Have you brought up the issue of the ostriches with the Prime Minister, and would you like to see him intervene in a way where they can be saved?
No, I have not brought up that issue with the Prime Minister. I understand there was a recent court decision on that. For British Columbia, we don't take our public health advice from RFK and from Dr. Oz. Bird flu is a very serious issue in British Columbia, and so it's obviously a challenging issue. They're beautiful birds, and bird flu is a massive and profoundly concerning issue for farmers in British Columbia, and I know across Canada.
Hi, Mirna Djukic for Radio-Canada. About the MOU signed with Ontario on free trade, can you tell us a little more about what concretely will change and what timelines are we working with?
Yeah, absolutely. We're working with Ontario right now on a direct-to-consumer model for BC alcohol products and Ontario alcohol products where producers can sell directly to consumers in our respective provinces. But what I would really love with Ontario, we have an agreement, a free trade agreement that works in Western Canada. It's called the New West Partnership. We can change the name if Ontario wants to come on board. But this is an agreement that's in place, has established standards, is working for provinces, allows us to maintain standards around safety for workers and other protections that are necessary while facilitating free trade. And I'll be pushing Premier Ford as part of this agreement to sign on to the New West Partnership, because that would be the easiest and fastest way to facilitate free trade between our provinces, and as well as Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Alberta.
Have you breached that with Premier Ford, and what did he say?
Yes, we have raised this issue with Premier Ford and his team, and we'll continue to do so. They're not quite ready to sign on, but I hope they will be.
Hi, Isaac Callan, Global News. I just want to ask about the MOU on the pipelines. Were you invited to sign that at any point?
No, I wasn't.
Would you have if you'd been invited to?
I don't know what it said. Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks very much, everybody.
We'll wrap it up right there, gang. Aaron, Canadian Looney, let me know in the comments what you think about Premier Eby here. I don't know about this guy. Anyways, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching the video. We'll catch you in the next one. Smash the subscribe. We're trying to hit 30,000. We're getting close. Help brother out. Catch you in the next video.